Hi, hello, good evening, and welcome you all to the milestone episode that is the 200th episode of Business Bytes with Bhavana. So, as usual, daily one member, one business that we were talking about, but because it's 200th episode, I think it is the moment and time to celebrate, right? So they say, right, remember to celebrate milestone as you prepare for the road ahead. This is said by Nelson Mandela. So definitely we will have to celebrate the milestones to keep up the energy, momentum, and the positivity to take this further. So while I say this, on this 200th episode today, right, we have a special guest, Naveen Lakurji. So I take this privilege to invite him to the show. Hello, Naveen ji. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good evening. So nice to meet you. And oh, what a wonderful welcome. This is like an opportunity. And I feel like as if I'm Sachin Tendulkar just celebrating the double century that I've scored and ready to play for more, right? So nice. Thanks for
Absolutely.
inviting
So,
me. And you're doing an amazing job of 200th episode. What a wonderful milestone.
thank you. Thank you so much, Naveen ji. It's our
And best
pleasure
wishes
to
to the
have
team.
you on this show.
And best wishes for many more.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Naveenji. That means a lot to me. And today being the 200th episode, when we were thinking about how to make it special, we thought we should invite somebody who can boost up our members' energy and guide on latest trending things that's happening around. And that's when we were thinking, we thought, why not Naveen Lakkur garu? And glad that you accepted our invitation, and we are here on the show in the 200th episode today.
Actually,
So,
it's a easy job, I think, based on what you're setting a stage, because I know I'm talking to people who are already inspired, right? I don't have to do anything at all, so they're already inspired, and also added to that, you have in your name what is that BBB, right, as the program.
yeah.
So looks like boost is the secret of my energy kind, and here another B to add just to boost
Oh,
all the energy that everybody has. So very nice. And you have an amazing audience who are, a group of people, business owners, entrepreneurs, innovators, and aspiring to achieve a lot more. So I see that they're already inspired, right? So yeah, it's an easy job.
yes. Thank you so much, Naveen Garu. So, before we move on, I think I take a moment to introduce the guest of the day, the speaker of the day, Naveen Garu. Right. So, today we have as the special guest in the 200th episode of Business Bites with Bhavna. We have the esteemed innovation coach, Naveen Lakurji, who will be sharing his insights and inspiring us all the way throughout. And it's really inspiring to know about him before we hear from him, right? So, with over 25 years of experience in the global industry and a proven track record of co founding innovative companies, Naveen Garu has also been the driving force behind 250 plus ideas becoming commercial realities. So it's really a pleasure and a blessing for all our members and all of us to have got an opportunity to interact with such a wonderful person, such a wonderful individual. Thank you so much, Navinji, for accepting to be the guest of the day.
My pleasure.
So, to all the audience out there, a very good evening and thanks for joining in on today's 200th episode. And do not miss to ask your questions as the episode goes on, because as you all know, today's topic is importance of innovation in business for business growth, right? So, we're going to talk a lot about innovation. Naveen ji is going to tell us a lot of things, or guide us on how why innovation is really important for a business growth. And at any point of time you have any kind of questions or you have innovated something in your business, you want to share with us, you're welcome. And you have any questions like, I am doing so and so business, and how can I, what kind of innovation can be done in this industry, right? You might not get a detailed in-depth answer here in the show, but trust me, definitely you will get some boost towards what direction you have to think in. Right, Navinji?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much. So, before we start off the show formally, I think let's hear a little bit about Naveen Garu. So, Naveen Garu, where are you from, and how was your journey as a child, and how did you grow up as an entrepreneur?
Okay. Um, I've been based out of Bangalore,
Mhm.
India. Born, brought up here, grew up here, and then now I've been more called a global citizen
Mhm.
because wherever I go, the way people take care and love me, care for me, how can I say I don't belong to them and where they are? So, be it international or rural. So, it's their
Okay,
love which makes me feel that I'm part of their lives. So, I'm a global citizen now.
global
Yeah.
citizen. Yes, I love that
Yes.
word. Yes. So,
And what else do you
yeah.
want to know?
So, everybody aspires to become a lot of things, right? As we grow up as a child. So, what kind of aspirations did Naveen ji have, as a child? Like, I want to do this. And did all of that come true, or did you deviate? And how did this innovation become your, mainstream kind of thing?
Okay, okay. Um, I think as a school kid, my aspiration was to be in the forces in Indian Air Force. That was my school time dream,
Ah,
and
okay, nice.
so grew up that way. I wanted to play. I wanted to travel. I wanted to meet with a lot of people and so on. So has my dreams come true? Yes, a lot of them. In fact, including after my engineering,
Mm-hmm.
I had just then earned a job, but
Mm-hmm.
there was that was a sales job. I wanted to be in R&D, and my
R&D,
very
okay.
yes, and I thought I had this analytical mind, and I can do research, development, and so on. So had my very first interview because I was
Mm-hmm.
referred to a company, and this is with Mr. S.A. Chandran. So S.A. Teroka, the group of company, the chairman. So got a chance
Okay,
directly to meet the chairman, and
wonderful.
it was a reference. Uh, but I failed the test miserably. Right, my first interview, I'll never
I have
forget.
heard that most of the successful people have failed and then grown to the highest successful level in their life.
And you know what my test was? He gave me when I met him. He said, "Oh, you want to be in R&D?" I said, "Yeah, I like to be in R&D." And well, I
Mm-hmm.
did my engineering in electronics and communications, and that was the hot
Uh-huh.
topic then, even now. And parallelly, I was doing a lot of computer science related, the programming and all that. So I thought, I have this analytical mind. Let me be in the R&D, create something, all
Mm-hmm.
that. And then he called in and he gave me a piece of paper where there was some print on it, and said,
Mm-hmm.
"Here is a test for you." I said, "Okay." I was wondering what am I supposed to do, and he said, "Can you count the number of T's in it? The letter
Number
T."
of T, letter T. Okay.
Yes. I said, "For an R&D and
R&D.
for an engineer, what big deal?" So I
Yes.
counted. I told him a number. He said, "Are you
Mm-hmm.
sure?" When he said, "Are you sure?" I know the way he asked me, it felt as if I need to count again. So he said, "Do you want to
Okay.
count again?" I said, "Okay." I started counting. I got a
Mm-hmm.
different number.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then I told him a different number. Then
Mm-hmm.
he said, "Are you sure? Do you want to count again?" So I
Mm-hmm.
started counting again. I got
Okay.
another different number.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Man, what's happening?" On my first interview, and the task given is just to count the T.
Hmm.
And then I was little shaky now. And after that, um, So went on, and then 5 times I counted. All 5 times I got five different numbers. So
Okay.
then
So,
I got
if I can
grounded.
ask you, what was the size of the sheet like?
It was probably like one paragraph, this size of a text,
Ah, okay.
and then uh, so it was. I don't know how many were there. He didn't tell me how many were there, but by the time 5 times I counted, I realized I'm gone. So, but actually, good I failed that day. Otherwise, I wouldn't have understood or probably overestimated myself or not understood the importance of attention for details and how do you stay calm, how do you deal with adversities, right? And probably a lot more learning than celebration of a success, right? So here, truly a lot of learning, I would say. So then went on. And later you asked me, what are my successes? After that, I realized, okay, maybe I was reading one book. Actually, I wanted to go abroad and study and further higher studies and all. I was reading one book called Tough Times Never Last, but Tough People Do.
Wow.
Okay. And just the title inspired me. And this is by Robert H. Schuller. So I picked that book and I was reading. I don't know what happened. Suddenly, in between, I felt uh, uh, there was a feeling that I have to do or go for a job or look for one. So there was an ad that I had seen in the newspaper that day that it said there is a walk-in interview at for a sales job. Okay,
Okay. Sales
so
job.
sales job. I went there, and I thought I dressed up with the tie and all that and went again that feeling of I'm an engineer and all that. But there I went, 600 people queue to go for four positions which are open, and there was a queue of 600 people, and most of them were engineers, by the way. So
Okay.
man, what's happening? And I have to stand in the queue just to go get into for an interview. So, but went on. It went on for almost 15 days. And even at home, they were saying, are you going for an interview or are you going for a job? Because every day I was going and it was getting shortlisted. At one day, I said, enough of this, man. No idea. But again, that book triggered me. I said, today, let me go. I went, and that day, the interview actually, there was nothing as an interview, that was an offer letter.
Oh, wow.
And six of us were qualified from 600, it was six. And out of that, I was also thinking, should I go or not? But good, I went. Two other people had thought that should they go or not, so they didn't come. So only four turned up.
Oh, wow.
And that was the
Okay.
day of the offer. And I get a
Okay.
offer, I get a job. I was super excited because that built confidence in me more than anything, and persuasion and the kind of conversations and every day keep going as if I was going to a job. And when good things happen, this happens, right? So I start off, and only 2 days in my job, it was orientation and so on, and I get a letter, interview letter, to come and attend an interview in Mysore for Indian Air Force, which I had applied for. And now I was in a
Something that
dilemma.
you aspired for was coming your way.
Now I'm in the dilemma. Should I go for an interview or should I take the job that I have in hand? Which one would you choose?
So, I mean, it's a very difficult and a tough situation if you ask me, because
Then
in
imagine my situation that time. It was
absolutely,
so hard.
yes.
And like almost everybody clearly said, boss, all India level people are coming for Indian Air Force and very hard to get. And and here with so much difficulty you found a job. Are you crazy that you want to even go for an interview by leaving this? That means if I go for an interview, I'm letting this job go. Okay,
Oh,
no
yes,
coming back.
absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you think I would have chosen?
Hmm. I
Go
think
for a new interview or continue the job?
um, I think you chose to go for the new interview.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Bang on. And where I went there, and it was like 175 people all over India, and and three centers are there for. Fortunately, I got Mysore, so it was not too far away. But it was, as we entered, we were all put into, the vehicle as if we were like sheep, and people had just come back from traveled from different parts of India, got in, went. But the whole process was very, very amazing in terms of, we go in and they give a little food, and no time to even freshen up and so on, straight into the exam hall, and you start writing.
Hmm. Hmm.
And two papers, person next to you would be writing paper A and I would be writing paper B. And after the time, the paper gets exchanged in terms of the questions. And the other person next to me, like, I could see so fast they were writing, and I was taking so much time, and I was so scared now whether what would happen. I left my job and I came here, and no wonder what's it's such a wrong call, so then there was uh, the two papers are done, and then we are outside, and they started to uh, call out the numbers. We all had just numbers. As soon as we entered, we were all given the numbers, and
Mm-hmm.
and mine was 52. And
Okay, 50.
there were numbers that they were calling out after this test, and the break was given, and then they came
Mm-hmm.
out, started calling out the numbers, and they
Mm-hmm.
called 51, they called 53, and now just imagine, I'm all gone now. uh, but after few minutes, they said all the numbers which has been called, they can collect the food packets and the reimbursement of their train tickets, and so on, and leave to their respective places. The
Okay.
numbers which weren't called were the ones which would stay there for 5 days for interview. So that was a phenomenal experience. And again, my um, if I have to look back to draw inspiration for my own self, I
Okay.
would use this as it's a technique on when people are low, and especially in business or entrepreneurship journey, or if you're looking at innovation journeys, the ups and downs are going to be there in the game, right? And importance of innovation for business growth is what we are talking about. So the ups and downs are going to be there. And how do you deal when your attitude, when you are on the top, and at the same time, how do you deal when you're at the bottom, determines who you are, right?
True. Very true.
And
Practically, yes. One has to experience it to learn it, I believe.
yes, and that is when the 5 days, the experience of going through the interview, and then now whoever went through that 5 days, now the two numbers are called. They said number 13 and number 52, and I stood number one. So that was like definitely a dream come true.
Mm-hmm.
And I was literally in air. And then
That's like
even
a
though
how am
later,
I meant do not know to smile, or how to celebrate it, kind of a very emotional moment it would have been for you, right?
absolutely it was, and suddenly I got recognition. People started to know who's this guy. Until then, people didn't even know who I was, and so on. But on the other hand, um, so maybe when I was all set, but then I did not join, right? And
Okay.
that is because one of the top, I mean, I was talking to people and somebody who's been in the forces, and so they said, get one thing right in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're serving the country. There's no questions. Okay,
Correct.
that they
Mm-hmm.
got deep into me and said, you have to have it in your mind. Second, I got to understand that, which I didn't know myself as much, when I got to understand that I like new things, trying
New
new
thing.
things. And maybe that's in my name. It's Naveen means new,
New.
right? So,
Navina.
and
Yeah.
I didn't know that. that was the quality which was there in me. And so there it will be a very routine, a lot of routine stuff. So every day it's very regimentary, right? So you need to go through. So irrespective, and that was the time I had a other offer also to go and start uh, a technology company or IT company for a construction company in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur. Okay.
So went there, built the company, and so then I said, uh, I will have to. Entrepreneurship was probably there in the blood, and then I said, yeah, earlier the better. So under 25 started my entrepreneurial. Well, I had to grow up in my dad's grocery store and so on. So today, if you ask me, my real education has happened in the shop floor. At the same time, while my formal education has given me that analytical skills and the ability to reason and the power of articulation, but the real business skills, or the ability to engage with people, respecting people, and supporting people, that has happened from the grassroots levels, that is in the market, literally in the physical marketplace is where I've grown. So
Mm-hmm.
now the later when into technology and later into building companies and all, so I know how the true marketplaces function, because one side technology, the other side is the market, right? So
True.
the marketplaces, these need to come together in the newer generation. So that's where a lot of my interventions on designing models and systems for many e-commerce, or be it the platforms and so on. So that is how my journey has been, like collaboration, tapping into my childhood learnings. Those days, of course, I didn't know. I used to crib and feel sad and maybe even
Why
curse my.
all time work? Why all time do something?
Yeah, no time to play. No, I was supposed to come and work in the shop and all that. But I think those are the best lessons. I lost my dad early in my life, but
Okay, sorry.
today I thank him for whatever he's taught me. Right? So yeah, that's been my childhood days and the learning. And of course, I did. I mean, play, and I was always with people, friends, and all that. A lot of movies.
Yeah,
So
I mean, everything that one has to enjoy, but not at the cost of just enjoying, right? So that is
there's
where
a lot of
you need to
learning.
differentiate. Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of learning. In fact, with so many movies during the college days that I watched, but today um, that has not gone waste. Well, I've leveraged that. Maybe that is where I'm tapping into how to tell business stories.
correct.
So because I've
So
learned.
people usually say, right, experience speaks. So
Yeah.
all that you have experienced, I think that has given for anybody in life, the experience that they get is
Yes.
always teaching something.
Yes.
Naveenji, it's really nice and inspiring to hear about, how you grew up, like, various scenarios, example, which is like, it's still in front of your eyes, like, how the way you were narrating to us, it's like a storytelling, which we are able to kind of follow without blinking our eyes, maybe. So very nice. Thank you so much for that. And before we move on, we're going to talk about the actual topic about the innovation now. Before that, I think we have lots of comments coming in, a lot of audience who's watching us live. So let's take up few comments maybe.
Okay.
Raghuram sir says happy evening, congrats. Shweta says congrats. And then we have Jaya Chinni Garu, good evening Antunaru, happy evening Antunaru Murli Garu, Gupta Garu, great ma'am with great members, important points with great views and reviews. Ani చెప్తున్నారు.
Okay. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gupta ji. So, to all the audience out there, any question that you have to ask about innovation or anything in general, also, we have a very experienced personality with us today in the show. It's a privilege and a blessing to us. So, do not hesitate to post your questions so that Naveen Garu will be more than happy to help in the best possible ways to the best of his knowledge. Right? Um, Okay, Shweta says, hello, congratulations, Bhavna Rajesh, for completing another milestone in BBB. You are a true asset to WeVysya. Thank you so much, Venkatesh Garu.
So maybe the BBB was an inspiration to RRR, right?
Oh my
uh,
God.
which is getting some global recognitions now and so on. So, um, yeah, it was actually, if you see the B, and by a mistake or so, you rub off a portion of it, it becomes
Question of
R.
it. Are,
Maybe
yeah.
it was the BBB which was there, and somebody pulled, like the on the squirrel, right?
My
The Rama
God.
pulled the two lines, and it became RRR. So here it is not the Rama, it is the Rajamouli who pulled the three lines. So there you go. Here is a new story as the BBB is, as an inspiration for RRR.
Oh God, I like. Thank you so much for bringing it that way. But yeah, it was a small effort which we started in 2021 on the Ganesh Chaturthi day, right? Like
Oh, okay.
to support our members, and we started BBB.
Okay.
And the initial idea of BBB was just to, okay, 10, 15 minutes we will talk to our members and then give them a little more exposure. And, some people might have stage fear, language fear, and all. So when they do things like this, they will come out of that, zone, and they will come into a comfort zone and get more visibility of their business. But
Mhm.
trust me, none of the episodes till now has gone less than 40 minutes.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
So
So,
should
Naveen
we
Garu,
should we create that as a milestone? Today we do it less than 40 minutes so that so
not
we
actually.
create a
Our members won't be quiet. We have so many comments coming in. So I'm pretty sure this show will not end before 90 minutes today. Yeah, that is how I see that. So Naveen Garu, yes. Before we take more comments, I think we have ocean of comments coming in, but I do not want to delay anymore, and I think it's time that we talk about the today's topic: importance of innovation for business growth. So
right.
before we take up questions or hear from our audience, we would love to hear from you, Naveen Garu, what you have to say about this for our audience today.
Wonderful. Uh, for me, based on this topic, importance of innovation for business growth. It's not even an option, actually. So it is more than even important, because if you don't innovate, you're gone, right? And we have many stories of these companies, big brands, and where they got saturation because they did not reinvent, or they did not innovate, and they did not come and ride the waves which were happening, right? So it's not an option according to me. On the other hand, those companies or businesses which are innovative, they have 6x more market share. Okay, six times more market share. How does that sound? If you are innovative, you can have the market share. And more than 50% of the companies who are innovative are having better performance than their competitors, right? So do you think, well, if it is an option, then you would miss out on these. But if you don't
Correct.
do anything about it, you would be history very soon, right? So,
True.
and earlier, the cycles of business used to be something like 20 years, 30 years, and so on. So, today, especially with the advent of technology and the way the technology is coming into becoming part and parcel of everybody's life, every business.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it is accelerating in terms of the cycle itself is getting accelerated. So in five
Yes.
years, there'll be huge amount of change. So if you're
True.
not catching up that change, then it's a challenge. So it's, according to me, not an option. But those who are catching up and who wants to be associated and wanting to innovate, but they don't know. The problem is many of them don't know what innovation would mean. How do they ride that wave, right? So what do they do? They think it is not their cup of tea, but that's unfortunately 95% in the world think that way, and it is not true. It is a myth. The potential to innovate is there in every person. It's just that uh,
You
we
have
need.
to unveil yourself, and you should be willing to probably unveil yourself and thing. So Naveen Garu, before we move further, how do you define innovation? Being an innovation coach, right? How do you define innovation?
Okay, so this seems like a. Um, uh, I thought I'm the coach and I'm the teacher now, right? So looks like it's reversed because you are giving me exams now, test, right? So that itself is innovation. If you see the normal way that we all go to school, college, and what do we do as students? We get the test, and there is a question by the teacher and you need to answer. So
Mhm.
innovation is right opposite to that, if you see. That's the regular. And this is very different. Here,
Yes.
I'm the teacher, but I'm writing the test because you're asking me questions, so I have to answer. In simple,
Mhm.
this itself is an example for innovation. And okay, let me brief you how this similar situation was there, but this was during the first lockdown time.
Yeah.
Okay. And people were really, really concerned, worried, not sure. So the MSME especially was very badly affected.
Mhm.
Okay. So there was a call to me by Lagu Udyog Bharati, and which is the social organization for supporting the MSME, right? So
Yeah.
they said people are under tremendous stress and don't know what to do. So we would like, what do you think we can do? So we were talking about it, and I said, this is probably the best time to learn because we never had time, and now we don't know what to do with our time, and because we are not used to this, right? So why not we do series at least technology is available and working. So even at home, this is the very first lockdown, the very first week of the lockdown, and in the 2020 in the March season. So
Correct.
and they said, oh, would you be willing to do a session for our members and all the MSME business owners and all that? I said, yeah, happy to do. And they organized, and I was talking about how you spend your time and innovation as the need of the hour and all. So one of them stopped and said, sir, ಒಟ್ಟಿಗಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜುಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಲ್ಗೆವು ಅಂತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. So it is in Kannada. It says when you are talking about the jasmine garland for you when you don't have a meal on your plate. So uh, what is this innovation and all that, right? I said, okay, let me make it easy for you. So I said, innovation could be as simple as doing something different, making something better, or creating something new. As simple as that, right?
True. Yeah.
Um, Making something better, creating something, doing something different, or creating something new.
You.
They said, okay, but how is it relevant for us? What can we do? Because they think innovation means some R&D. Somebody has to sit in a lab and create something, and and launch it, and it should go to the moon. That is the way people think innovation is. But actually, invention is very different from the innovation, and innovation could be as simple as these. So they asked me, okay, can you elaborate or help us understand this better?
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, so what do you want? You want to know what I said, or do our audience want to know what I said, and do they want to learn about this? As this is simple, right? But do they want to learn more? Let's ask the audience.
Yes. So, audience, do you want to hear about what Naveen Garu is saying? Do post in the comment section, and we will be looking forward to help you out. I mean, I really want to hear, but until unless somebody from the audience says yes, we want to hear, Naveen Garu is not going to answer, right, Naveen ji?
Yes,
Yes.
let's
Let's
see
see.
what
Yeah.
how many of
Yes,
them are
yes, we're
listening.
already getting yes. Okay, yes, in Color Lab, yes, Santonaru, Balaji by Sunny, yes, Santonaru. Thank you so much for that. Yes, sir. We want to
Okay,
know.
you want to know? Okay. So this was the time when there was a lot of uh, the pushback and worry and don't know what COVID meant and how is it going to impact us and when is it going to open up. And they were very concerned that their factories, they'd not even shut down the machines properly, and people, even the labor, had to leave. They were under tremendous stress, and these are business owners never been in that kind of situation, right? They were always hustle bustle and so running, and now they are at home and worried. So it's because it's all shut. Only
Yes.
then the newly they were introducing new policy, because everything was new, because nobody had this experience of COVID in our lifetimes, right? So of this
Mhm.
kind of situation, pandemic. So that was the time when essentials and little properties of COVID was getting to understand, and the how it spreads, and the contact need to be less, and the cover the mouth, these kind of things, right? So then I was asking, like, this kind of a forum, right? Many hundreds of business owners and entrepreneurs and MSMEs members, especially. So they were all listening, right? So I asked, how many of you, do any of you have the companies which is into mask making and these kind of medical devices or something like that? There were many of them said, yes, we are into that. I said, if you already are doing those, and now the importance of the COVID spread has to stop and so on, so the mask is going to stay there for quite some time. So if you can understand properties of COVID and modify, make your mask a little better to cater to what exactly COVID, that properties, if it is there,
What it
small
actually
change.
demands for a better survival.
Yes, not the regular mask, but no. So make it little better, and then you would get approval for as an essential, and you would be able to go operate your business.
Mhm.
So they thanked, and many of them jumped in, and Lagu Udyog Bharati started facilitating also that as an
Wonderful.
organization. So
Yes.
many started functioning. And now the second one, right? So they asked, oh, now they are curious that what could be an example for doing something different. So are our audience interested for that?
Yes,
Are you
definitely.
interested?
I'm getting lots of SICS actually. So Srinivas Rao
Okay.
garu
And
antunaru
how
meet
about
and
you?
of course, definitely I would love to know. Yes, please continue, Antunaru. Yeah, we're getting a lot of yes, definitely yes.
So now I was on spot that I had to give an exam, and I had not prepared for these, right? So it's not like the scripted one, and I had to sit down and I was not teaching. So this was a conversation, and suddenly, I mean, I was presenting how they could prepare, how they could utilize their time now on hand, and tough times never last, but tough people do. The positive attitude, all of that. But they were interested in ideas, innovation, and because just because I said innovation, right, they caught on to that, and now I was on spot to give an example for the second line that I said,
Line.
which is doing something different.
Different, yeah.
Okay. So now that I have to share, what do I say? Suddenly I realized, there were amongst these MSME, there were many of the garment manufacturing companies, participants were there. I asked a question, how many of you are into garments and so on? So there were many. And I said, okay, now let's think about it. How about the mask is not going to, just because I said the mask as the first one example, right? I wanted to extend it. Just because the COVID is here, the mask is not going to go away in the near future. It's going to be there for some time. And but there is a big requirement today of mask,
True.
and
Yes.
the whole world needs it, because we were the laggers, right, in the COVID thing. Before it hit India, it was already highly spread in the Western countries, and most of the masks were all getting imported from a country which now they were concerned that, should they even be taking anything, right? So, but the whole world needs it. And even India, people need it. Do we have that volume? No way, right? So I said, if garments industry, take an example of somebody who's manufacturing inner garments,
Mm-hmm.
and if they are manufacturing bra, the women's bra, there are two cones. The raw materials are already there. Elastic is
Mm-hmm.
there. All that material, what you need, and it's already skin proven, and it is the body can take it. So, and here two cones will become two masks. And
True.
if you are in a garment factory, you're shut and you're at home. But if you are ready to manufacture mass, because all the raw material, machinery, equipments, manpower, because they are already into garments, so no issues. The same
True.
manpower, same machine, same raw material can be used, but to create two masks instead of one bra. How many millions of people would did it help? And bang, from Tirupurs to so many places, the messages started flowing because they were able to get the permission for restarting their
Manufacturing of
business because it is
masks.
essentials now, and it was
Okay. Okay.
need of the hour. And
Absolutely true.
and in such short period, they shot up to even capacities of even exporting when everybody is locked at home. Here many of these garment manufacturing companies, the industries, opened up and just repurposed their machinery and the material and the manpower, and look what they could do, the impact that they created, right? So
Yes.
another example of how just the trigger, and when we think, when we question, when we challenge ourselves, and as simple as this, but saving so many lives, right? So another example for this one. So yeah, now the third one, right? So they wanted to know, now they are more curious, what could be creating something new altogether.
Yes.
So what do you
True.
think? Are you interested, and our audience are interested? Are they getting ideas? Are they getting ideas about what they want to do in their business?
Yes. So, audience, do let us know what do you think is innovation, and as we speak, are you able to think of like what could be the next new innovative thing that you could do in your business? If any thoughts around that, post it in the comment section. I will definitely discuss it with Naveen ji, and definitely it's a good opportunity, right? So, I am hoping that this moment is bringing in or seeding a thought in each of us on what is innovation, and innovation is everywhere, and it's for us to open our eyes and just to focus on that, on what new and what different could be done in our day-to-day life or for our business, wherever we are, in whatever best possible ways. And we just saw lots of live examples with Naveen ji, right? So before Naveen ji we talk about the third thing, I think we will take up some questions, and we will take up some comments, and then we will move on. So, Chandrasekhar sir, thank you so much for joining in. And he's asking, why do Asia businessmen not give the required importance to intangibles like strategy, innovation, branding in a marketing intensive world? అని అడుగుతున్నారు.
So is that a question or a comment?
Yeah, that's a question. Why?
Yeah.
Why do
Okay.
you think, we are not? I mean, we are Zarya Vaishas, who's a business. We are known for business, being
Yes.
businessmen, right? Like entrepreneurs,
Yes.
businessmen. So, though we know that strategy is important, innovation is important, branding is important, it's a marketing intensive world. So, why do you think that we are not giving required importance to intangible things like this?
Yes. I think while it is true, while we are innovative, there are many factors to it. If we look at the data and see why, um, so maybe it is one is while we are risk takers, but we want to be, in that protective thing, and do what is proven, and don't worry, just ensure, like, no, even the elders, whatever we have done, if you take care of that, that is good enough,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And
Mm.
the second is in terms of the reputation, somewhere that fear of failure, because in innovation, strategy, things might go wrong, might not happen the way you intend, but how do you deal with that failure? So we want to, in a way, well, we are risk takers, but we are averse of risk, this kind of risks. Okay.
True.
And it is, the strategy is one strategy. It's not that there's no strategy. The strategy is, don't do anything new, just continue to do what you're doing, right? So
Yeah,
that's
I
the
like,
strategy.
okay, my business is going well, kind of.
Yes.
I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with what
Yes.
I have. This is the kind of
Yes.
maybe attitude or
Yes.
thought process.
Yes. So
Yeah.
the aspiration, the ability, and it's also, not that, it's Arya Vaishya alone, but overall culture within even India is like, our education system is also that way, because we say that, you have to pass, right? You can't afford to fail,
Yeah, true.
and we don't teach how to deal with failure. So that is where the challenge for innovation, the strategy, and so on, because you need to know how to welcome failure and deal with failure. So one of the things, when I was instrumental to bring Founder Institute to India, which is the world's largest idea stage accelerator. So I've been mentoring through Founder Institute, and I was instrumental to bring that. So there, in entrepreneurship, innovation is not an option, but in entrepreneurial journey, failure is a part and parcel of the thing. That's when we say, failures are the stepping stone to success, but we don't know how to deal with it, right? So in entrepreneurial program, we teach on, because it's not taught in schools, it's not taught in our regular trading businesses. That's where
True.
Arya thing has got so much of potential, but limited to trading, because they didn't want it to risk too much, right? And
Yeah.
that safety net, safety zone, they've got too used to that, right? And on the other hand, it's important to take that, but we need to fail smartly. Okay. So do you know what it means to fail smartly?
Uh, yeah, I mean, we would love to hear
Yes.
from you, Naveenji, definitely.
Okay. So, failure. I mean, first of all, people would be wondering, what is this failure and failing
Failure,
smartly?
yeah, correct.
Fail in
First
failure
of
also
all,
there is
failure
smartness
itself is,
involved.
yeah,
So yes, there is. When you try new things, right? As we said, failure is a part and parcel, but we need to fail quickly and we need to fail cheaply, right? And if we can manage these two, then it becomes failing smartly
true.
and welcoming failure. And I think it's a lot to do with our attitude, and we are again taught, we we become like, they point to say you failed. Actually, we did not fail as a person. It is our initiative which we took
Which
did
failed.
not
Which,
work, right?
yes,
But we internalize that and we don't know, and we think we failed. If Thomas Alva Edison thought that way, and people said he failed 10,000 times, and he said, no, no, I only figured out 9,999 ways of how not to invent a bulb. and uh,
yes,
and he is a classic example of, when we think about a bulb, Thomas Alva Edison comes. When we think about ideas, Thomas Alva Edison comes, and we represent ideas through the bulb and
true.
through light, and so on. So, and he's one of those examples who's not just been an inventor, and but his innovation, the business model, he's become an entrepreneur. And any guesses on which company did he formed or founded, which is popular?
Thomas
You
Alva
want
Edison.
to, you want to ask the audience? Let's see.
Okay. So,
And
audience, if any of you want to take a guesses on which was the company, right, which was started by Thomas Alva Edison, right? So,
yes,
definitely you could post it in the comments section. So, while you're posting that, I think it's time like we take some more comments. Chandru sir, thanks for bringing up that question. And the answer was like, we are more settled and happy with what we have, kind of thing. But there is a scope, and today in this episode probably we all Arya Vaishyas can say that we will try to step up and probably utilize that to create more business and strategize the business and not leave it to be just traditional business, and be innovative and take the businesses to the next level.
absolutely. I think
Yes.
otherwise we neither grow nor perish. So if we want to grow, and we need to have strategy, and we need to have a vision, and and take new initiatives, and smartly fail, right? And there's a difference between the business and also the with respect to gambling, right? So business is a
Yeah.
different kind, and here I think if people could strategize and bring innovation as part of their business and the growth, and that is when they will be able to grow in a multifold. Otherwise, then they should have a budget and time allocated for it, and it should be a
True.
conscious effort.
Yeah. Yes, Naveen Garu, I think what you're saying is absolutely right. And while our members are thinking of like, what they could innovate in their businesses, I think let's take few comments. 200th episode. Wow, great. Antonaru Harsha Garu. Hi, Bhavna Garu, Naveen Garu. I'm from WeVysya Kaushika. Thanks for joining in. Hari Krishna Garu. Hi, Antonaru. Congratulations for conducting 200th episode. Thank you. Hi, Antonaru. Congratulations, madam. Thank you. All the best, Naveen Garu. This is Sudhir from Netra. Netra is one of the houses of WeVysya. So thanks, Sudhir Garu, for joining in. Chalmaji Rav Garu. Wow, what a fantabulous day. It's hearty congratulations to Bhavna for a double century with a fantabulous personality in Tonaru. Absolutely, sir. Having Naveenji is our pleasure. Thank you so much. All right, congratulations for the double century. Thank you, thank you. Naveen Garu, very interesting journey, Antonaru, Shweta Garu.
Thank you.
Harsha sir says, learning never ends in R&D. Great and bold journey. All the best, Antonaru.
Thank you.
Gupta Sannidhi Garu. Good evening, Bhavna Madam, Naveen Ji. Hats off, Bhavna Madam. The energy levels, multi talent, skills from first episode to the milestone episode really admirable. Thank you so much, Gupta Ji, for all the nice words.
Yes.
Naveen, you were on live show your skills of innovation. BBB RRR అని అప్పుడే ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశారు కదా, సో he's talking about that.
Actually, that was also an example, impromptu. Well, so how you correlate, and whatever we were talking about, and even having fun, conversing. In fact, this was a showcase of a creativity, right? So
Yes,
how now people would not forget because of the milestones that RRR has reached. Now the
correct.
BBB whoever is watching this, they will not forget. If not anybody, Bhavna, would you forget? And actually, you should treat me for it, right? Um,
Absolutely.
this
I
was
think yes, thank you for bringing that up, Naveenji. I mean, definitely we cannot compare BBB and RRF for sure, but then I'm happy that kind of we're able to help
that's
our
setting
members and scale up a bit.
no, that's setting a new mark, right? How do we? It's not as a competition, it is as an inspiration. You need to
Yes,
get inspired by that, and now that how do we make it reachable? How do we make it so musical? How do we make it such a wonderful experience, right? So now that is what it is. And now if not anybody, one more at least person will remember the BBB for in a new way. This is a technique called pegging, where you are actually pegging one as a reference to the other.
true.
So until now, maybe whoever knew BBB, but today whoever are attending and listening to this, they are able to start relating BBB and RRR, right? We use that as a reference point, and that technique is called pegging, right? So, and in a way, what I did was a demonstration of the technique called pegging, and now that people, it started impacting. So now that I can reveal what I did, there was a technique of doing it.
Yes, thank you so much, Naveenji. While we're talking, we have our global president, Garu Anil Padakanti Garu, joining into the show.
Hi, Anil.
Thank you so much, Anil, for joining. Welcome to the show.
Hi,
We have Naveenji as the guest for the day.
So,
hi, Bhavana. I'm
hi.
not hearing.
You're not able to hear Anil?
Hi Naveen Garu, how are you?
Namaste. How are you? Good. You're able to hear me now?
We are able to hear you, Anil, but you're not able to hear us.
Okay. So,
Okay, let's wait for him to come back. Meanwhile, we were waiting for hearing about the third example. I think before that, a couple of more comments. Balaji Garu, great going, Bhavna Antonaru. Lots of SSS which came in for the questions you asked a few minutes before. Kiran Garu from Bangalore, hi Antonaru. Yes. So Naveen Garu, I think yes, now is the time. I think you'll have to reveal or give an example for third example.
okay. So the third example here was creating something new. So when I bought this out, I said, I remembered this again. I was continuing with some of the industries which were shut and completely out of place, right, for during the lockdown. One was the two-wheeler industry, and because there's no vehicle movement happening, and obviously there's no need for a helmet, and industries which were manufacturing those, they're all shut. So I was recalling that how when I went on a trek to Himalayas and so on, right? So we wear something called as ponchos. And these are like the raincoats, but then it won't allow even the small things to enter, and it's with no pores in it, right? So it is a fantastic fabric or the plastic of that kind where it is parallel to a raincoat, if I have to put it in raw terms. I said, how many of you are in manufacturing of say helmets or the sports gears, right? So like the helmet, like the poncho or the raincoat and so on. So there were many, again, because this was MSME, right, all over India. So what they did, and then I said, how about the frontliners are all exposed and they are all in the front, but we
Mhm.
don't know how to really, and no PPE kits. At that point in time, nothing was there.
Correct. Yeah.
So I said, how about creating a new product, which actually is a combination of two, integrating like a helmet and the raincoat as one, like, wear it, and then the frontline warriors are protected, right? And the full face helmet or whatever, right? So you're covered. And this gave rise to many other industries to have opened up, and they were in business. And Lagu Udyog Bharati did all that paperwork or influencing for getting the permission for essentials and so on. So otherwise, which for many months, none of these companies would have opened up. And one side is the business, the other side is the impact that they were able to create. And to that extent, that a lot of them were able to even export, right? And that is
Correct.
what
True.
India could do to the whole world, and it helped their own businesses to grow. And here, the essence is the innovation. It's the mindset. It's the culture. It's the way we treat, identify a problem and convert that into
A
a
solution.
possibility, right? And then there is a way forward, right? You might learn during the journey. You might fail, you might fall, all of it, but then your attitude should be, you'll have to be the change maker, right?
Mm.
And Mahatma Gandhi said, you want to see the change, be the change. And
Yeah,
in
true
fact,
that.
yeah, it's not easy though, right? And that is how, as you need to build that competency, you need to build that capacity, you need to um, develop that attitude, and then we can do wonders. And we need to. It's not an option again. So
It's a necessity of the day, like just like a basic need. Like for you to excel in life, innovation is a
yes.
part of it.
Yes, and in fact, these three stories as examples, while it helped many industries to open up, and later these three stories became an example in a chapter called 6 Foot World in the US in a book. So
Mm-hmm.
6 Foot World was a new book which was during the pandemic. That 6 foot distance, that distance you need to maintain between. So it was a new world getting created, and in this book in the USA, my three stories were a part of that, and it became an international inspiration for many of them, for them to
Wonderful,
think.
wonderful.
Yeah. So that's one
So,
milestone.
very nice and wonderful. So, audience, stay tuned. We are going to talk about Naveen ji's journey as an author as we move on. I think before that, we have our global president Garu joined in. Hello, Anil. Thanks for joining in.
Hi Bhavana, hi Naveen Garu, how are you?
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Namaste.
Sorry, before that I signal problem is there, so now I'm okay. And thanks for joining with us. Thank you. Welcome to WeVysya Triple B Bhavana Bytes business with Bhavana. Okay, thank you. And happy
My
to
pleasure.
hear your work and your inspiration stories and your experience telling to our viewers. And we are very happy to hear. Thank you joining with us.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you. And this is a milestone one, right? I was saying
Exactly.
that I feel like I'm on the cricket field and just scored 200 runs, and I'm going to be supporting further. So yeah,
And
I feel good.
not out 200, 200 not out.
Not out. Yes.
200 not out. Yeah, the
200
match
not out.
will still go on.
Yes, yes, yes. Really
Yes,
great.
Anil.
Yeah, Bhavana efforts and very, very, very great. And every day she is arranging mentors and she is arranging for experience for arranging for visitors and everything. Is doing lot of things behind the program.
Yeah,
So kudos
absolutely.
to Bhavana and
Yes.
congratulations to your 200th episodes. I'm glad to joining this episode.
In fact,
Thanks, Anil.
actually,
China garu.
uh,
Yes, Naveen garu.
Anil,
Chappandi.
Do you want to know a little extra about this today's episode? Do you want to know a little extra?
Yes, please.
In fact, this session, Bhavana, for her, it is a milestone one. It's also happening in a very powerful place. And it is with divine blessings. And while she's on the move, and Bhavana, do you want to share where you are doing this session from?
Yeah, I like why not? So we are doing the session. I'm there at Tiruvannamalai today. So I'm doing the session from
Wow, wow.
Tiruvannamalai.
Yes.
One of my
So, Om
favorite
Namah
place in
Shivaya.
Tiruvannamalai.
Yes.
And,
Even
and
I'm feeling
Tiruvannamalai.
blessed.
Tiruvannamalai, did you know, Bhavana? It is the essence of fire, of that is the power there, right? It is the fire, and
Atmalingas
that fire,
are present here.
yeah, that fire is there in you, right? So you want to do something, you want to contribute, you want to provide, and let Lord Shiva's blessings be with you. And this is an amazing thing, and blessings for everybody who's listening and everybody who's tuned in, right? So Anil has that additional little special one because he's come onto the screen also. So
Sorry.
here, here the blessings
I'm
are
hon-
coming
I'm
from
honored
Tiruvannamalai.
and for this Tiruvannamalai, just before this meeting, I discussed with my Bavagaru about this Tiruvannamalai,
Okay.
that divine place, that blessings and that powerful the place. Last 3 months back, I went to that place. I
Okay.
informed him, you monthly once you have to visit that place if
Paurnami Nadu.
possible. Yes, Tamil Nadu. So that is
Paurnami,
a
Paurnami
very,
Nadu.
very, very powerful place. Purnami.
Yes.
Yes, yes, right.
Do a Girivalam on Paurnami day. It's very
Giri
auspicious
Pradakshina.
and
I've done
wonderful.
Giri Pradakshina.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So Anil Garu, maybe before we say thank you for first of all, thank you for joining in on this 200th episode and conveying your best wishes to us. And
Thanks, Bhavana.
I
Thanks for
also have to
inviting.
congratulate you for doing well as a global president. And I think a lot of initiatives and the leadership that you're showcasing. Thank you so much for that and for accepting to continue Business Bites with Bhavna. And today we are at the 200th episode. ఏదైనా ఒక్క
Definitely.
స్ట్రాంగ్ ఏదైనా చెప్పాలి అంటే అనిల్ పడిగండి గారు ఏం చెప్తారు బిజినెస్ బైట్స్ విత్ భావన గురించి
అంటే ఒక విషయం చెప్పాలంటే మాత్రం బిజినెస్ బైట్ విత్ భావన మన మెంబర్స్కే కాదు చాలా మందికి యూస్ఫుల్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అది. ఎందుకంటే నాట్ ఓన్లీ మెంబర్స్ వ్యూవర్స్ కూడా వెరీ యూస్ఫుల్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళ సక్సెస్ స్టోరీస్ ఒక బిజినెస్ చేసేవాళ్ళంటే సక్సెస్ఫుల్ పీపుల్ ఉన్నారంటే వాళ్ళకి ఎంతో కష్టపడి వాళ్ళు ఎంతో లైఫ్ లో ఆ బిజినెస్ లో ఎన్నో హర్డిల్స్ దాటుకుని వాళ్ళు వస్తారు కదా. సో అవన్నీ
Yes.
వ్యూవర్స్ విన్నప్పుడు కానీ చూసినప్పుడు కానీ వాళ్ళకి తెలియని విషయాలు, కొత్త విషయాలు నేర్చుకోవడం అండ్ తెలియని కొత్త బిజినెస్ గురించి కూడా తెలుసుకోవడం, దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ యూస్ఫుల్ ఫర్ అవర్ మెంబర్స్ ఆల్సో, వ్యూవర్స్ ఆల్సో. ఐ ఆల్వేస్ బిలీవ్
Mhm.
దట్. అండ్ చాలా మంచి ప్రోగ్రామ్ భావన. ఐ విష్ యూ గుడ్ లక్. అండ్ 200 ఎపిసోడ్ కాదు, 500 ఎపిసోడ్ కూడా కంప్లీట్ అవ్వాలి. అండ్ 500 ఎపిసోడ్ కూడా నేను గెస్ట్ గా రావాలి ఇట్లాగే.
Thanks for wishing
అప్పుడు
that.
నేను
Let's see
900
what
కాకున్నా
happens.
కానీ నేను రావాలి ఇలాగే.
Sure, Anil. Thank you so much for
నవీన్
joining
గారు,
and supporting the
ఐ
initiative.
హోప్ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్ అవర్ తెలుగు.
నేను తెలుగు అండి, ఆర్యవైశ్య.
అవును కదా.
అండ్
హలో.
అది ఇప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు అదే చెప్పాలని ఉంటుంది. మీరు ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళని 500 ఎపిసోడ్ చేయాలని చెప్పారు, అండ్ యూ వాంట్ టు బీ ఇన్ దట్ షో ఆల్సో, కమింగ్ అండ్ విషింగ్ అండ్ సో ఆన్. సో షుడ్ ఐ now throw the handkerchief and say reserve my position on the 500th show? I'll be the keynote speaker. So is that what you want, Bhavana? You want to reserve, book me in advance now?
Yes,
అండ్
it is always a
అడ్వాన్స్
pleasure to have
కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్ నవీన్
wonderful
గారు.
people in the show. Yes, Anil. Chappandi.
అడ్వాన్స్ కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్ నవీన్ గారు. అండ్ మీరు ఇప్పుడున్న పొజిషన్ కంటే కూడా ద బిటర్ అండ్ బెగ్గెస్ట్ అండ్ పొజిషన్ లో మీరు ఉండాలి. అండ్ 500 ఎపిసోడ్ కూడా మీరే రావాలి మాకు.
అందుకే ఇప్పుడే స్లాట్ బుక్ చేస్తాం. మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు కమిట్ అయితే అప్పుడు ఏదైనా మీరు రానే రావాలి.
Sir,
నవీన్ గారు కూడా టూ స్మార్ట్, అయినా ఇప్పుడే ఖర్చు చేసుకున్నారు ఆయన కూడా.
కాదు కాదు, you are thank you. మీరు I mean you said it in a way that 500th episode కి రావాలని, rather than 500 episodes నేను ఉండాలని చెప్పలేదు కదా. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
అది కష్టం అండి, చూడరు ఎవరు కూడా, కష్టం అది. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ భావన, థ్యాంక్ యూ ఇన్వైటింగ్ మీ అండ్ జాయిన్ విత్ us. ఐఎమ్ హానర్డ్, వెరీ హానర్డ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ నవీన్ గారు. అండ్ ఆఫ్ ద రికార్డ్ కూడా చాలా మనం ప్రోగ్రామ్ కూడా మీ గురించి మనం రెగ్యులర్ చూస్తాం. టిటాన్స్ గ్రూప్ కావచ్చు, అండ్ మీ పోస్టింగ్స్ అండ్ మీ అచీవ్మెంట్స్ అనేవి రెగ్యులర్ చూస్తుంటాం మేము. అండ్ విష్ యూ గుడ్ లక్ ఫర్ యువర్ ఫ్యూచర్ ఎండివర్స్. అండ్ అవర్ WeVysya ఆల్వేస్ విత్ యూ.
Thank you so much. In
Okay.
fact, I was part of the launch of WeVysya when it happened at ITC Gardenia.
ITC Gardenia,
So, yeah,
right.
I was a speaker that time, and good
Yes.
to
Yes,
see
yes.
that
We met
WeVysya,
at that.
the way you're all working towards and supporting each other and growing the business. And
Yes.
ide oka example of the network. One of the quotes in my book is building a net worth is ordinary. Building a net
Yes.
worth is ordinary. Building a network is extraordinary. Okay, so
Very well said.
and here WeVysya is an example, and I was telling this to Anil also, the other Anil, the founder of WeVysya, where this is so important. And ordinary is not bad. We need to create net worth, but the people who have created net worth, they know the power and the value of a network, right? So this is one of the quotes, one of the things written in my book, a little extra ni. So I'm congratulating all the members. This is the book called Little Extra, and
Very nice.
yes, and it's a book of illustrations. So, and you people are doing an extremely good job, and that little extras, everything matters, right, for business good. This is also innovation, like this show, and you all organizing the events, and supporting each other, the process, and then how do you intimate, how do you do the referrals, how do you manage the referrals, how do you celebrate referrals, all of that. There is scope for innovation, and that is what you're doing. And it's a sadhana, right? It's a lifelong process. It's the day we think we are done, and that is when the saturation comes in, right? So new is the game, and continue to play the game, and in the network the multiplier effect would be realized. So congratulations to all of you in the WeVysya for fantastic effort.
Thank you, Naveen Garu. Thanks for great words from great people. We are happy to hear, and we are great to hear. అండ్ వివైశ్య ఇంకా ఫ్యూచర్ లో ఇంకా కమింగ్ ఇంకా మీరు చాలా కొత్తగా ఇన్నోవేషన్ చూడబోతున్నారు ఇంకా మీరు కూడా. అండ్ వ్యూవర్స్ కావచ్చు, మీరు కావచ్చు, ఇంకా చాలా వివైశ్యలో చాలా ఇన్నోవేషన్స్ మేము తీసుకురాబోతున్నాం. ఆల్ మెంబర్స్ కావచ్చు, కమ్యూనిటీ కావచ్చు, అండ్ ఆల్ ద ఎంటర్ప్రినర్స్ కావచ్చు, అందరికి యూస్ఫుల్ అయ్యే విధంగా చాలా కొత్త కొత్త ఇన్నోవేషన్స్ మేము తీసుకురాబోతున్నాం. మీరు విట్నెస్ ఉండబోతున్నారు కూడా.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
My
you so
pleasure.
much, Anil, for joining in. As a global president, if you are here, I think we get more strength as a team. That okay,
Yes,
we are growing as a team, Anil. Thank you for joining in.
థ్యాంక్ యూ భావన, థ్యాంక్ యూ నవీన్ గారు, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank
Thank you
ఎస్
so
అండ్
much.
బాయ్.
Yes, Anil, thank you so much for joining. We just now mana global president garto matladam. So Naveen ji, to move on, I think you very nicely explained, innovation in TLA and the three important things of how you can define innovation. And we were talking about the last one, which you were explaining, I believe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I was talking about the ponchos and how that integrated and the mainstream
Correct.
of those frontline warriors, it helped.
Uh,
So I had
mm,
concluded that. So it's just that if we are open for ideas, how we deal with situation, the attitude, and
mm,
at the same time, the idea and the execution, right? If they need to come together
mhm.
as inseparable twins, right? That's again one of the chapters in my other book by name Inseparable Twins. So
Mhm.
idea and execution. So this is Inseparable Twins.
So while we're seeing the books authored by Naveen Garu, what inspired you to write books? I was about to ask you, I have heard Naveen Garu is an amazing author, Rani. So really nice to see the names of the books itself is so inspiring. Like it makes one feel that, yeah, we have to see what is in it, right? So what made you think that you have to write, you have to author books, Sunny? Because a lot of people think, but it's not easy. Like they don't know where to start with, how to start with. So would you like to share with us something about that?
Sure. In fact, I have not been an author, but one of the days, my mentor, he'd come from the US and we were having a conversation. Suddenly he said, Naveen, you are very selfish. I said, "Why are you saying that to me? And what have you done?" And he said, "No, no. God has gifted you so much knowledge, and the way that you are able to articulate, and only people around you and the people in your company they get to learn. But the world needs this, and you need to make it available for them." That's when I asked him, "What do you want me to do?" And he said, "Why don't you write a book?" And so it was my mentor who saw this and pushed me for doing this. So I've been a public speaker. I've been speaking in international forums, and well, as a serial entrepreneur, I've built tech companies, and I was a CEO of a technology company, and from the scratch, literally from nothing to building it as companies, and some have got acquired, some have got merged into the other enterprises, and so on. So a lot of personal experience and learnings has been there in my life, and that is when he pushed that I should write a book, and that's how it
Nice.
started. And but when I did my first book is entrepreneurship, a creative journey, because I've been passionate about entrepreneurship and innovation. So that was something which I did for Nokia when it was Nokia before the acquisition, and so on. For those people who wanted to embark, the company created a program called Bridge Program, where they engaged people like me to help employees who wanted to become entrepreneurs, right? And they supported them. And I created this book and handout and so on. Later, when this book Inseparable Twins happened, it is
Mhm.
to inspire young minds, where to inspire innovation and entrepreneurship. So I use character. It's a fictional style for a non-fictional topic, and
Okay,
we
that's an innovative way of putting across things, right?
yes. So there are two characters by name Appy and Proppy. They are elephants, and
Okay.
they want to become entrepreneurs. They want to innovate, and they happen to meet their mentor, a human friend becomes a mentor by name Lucky, and that is how they started. But I one of the best moments related to this book is when I was doing this training program on creativity and innovation as inseparable twins at T Hub in Hyderabad, where T Hub is India's largest incubation center, and people, they organized, and corporate startups and educational institution management, they all came and attended this program, and it was organized by T Hub while I was
Mm-hmm.
designing and delivering this program.
Mm-hmm.
And one occasion, one day I get a message from Mr. Samir Chabra. And Samir
Okay.
Chabra happened to be, that time, he was the head of operations, vice president of operations at T Hub. And
Mm-hmm.
he sends one message one day. And
Mm-hmm.
it was on 2nd of September. And he
Okay.
says, "Hey Naveen, look what I found at Dr. Abdul Kalam Museum in Delhi. So
Oh
your
wow.
book,
That
your
you
book
the book you've written was there.
in his personal
Right?
collection."
Wow.
And
Wow.
and
Cute.
coincidentally,
Uh, yeah, I just
that
want you to
happened.
show that movie. I just put you on a
Coincidentally,
big
it happened
screen.
to be, yeah.
You want
So
to show
that
that screenshot again?
and
That
that
was not
is
visible then.
that was this is Samir Chabra's note, and said, "Here, hi Naveen, look what I found at Abdul Kalam Museum." And in fact, coincidentally, Ramana Maharshi's book is also there, where you are
Yes,
currently
true.
doing a session,
Connected.
and my book, Inseparable Twins, is found in his personal collection. So, which was a big thing for
Excellent.
me, because Dr. Abdul Kalam is one of my inspiration, and knowing I didn't know about this, and knowing that he's got my book in his personal collection means a lot. And
Absolutely.
coincidentally, that was like a prasad on a Ganesha festival, where BBB program, you said, started on Ganesha festival, and this was one of those wonderful messages that I got. I'm yet to go to Delhi to see
The music.
how it is there in the glass case, protected, prevented. Now it's going to live for a very long period,
It's a legacy now. It'll not get removed forever, right? It's in the museum, so
and
you're being
also
part of the
the
legacy.
and the power of IP, right? While I wrote this book, I said I'm contributing this book for social cause, and
Mm-hmm.
so every book is fed to meal in a midday meal program, and
Wow.
organizations like National Association for Blind has used this for fundraising, and schools have
Mm-hmm.
used this as fundraising activity, and so on. So it's
Again,
helped.
another innovative way of trying to help people and the society in a
So
nice way, like how we can be part of it.
very true. Whether I'm working or not, something is working, and that
Correct.
is feeding, taking care of the society, right? Contributing a little bit, at least, right? So that is happening, and this is an example. And one of the chartered accountant by name Kavita Parmesh, she was very inspired of the content and the approach and the way, the style of this book, and so on. So she wanted this to be reaching to the grassroots level. So she
Mm-hmm.
is translated this book into Kannada, and it is called
Ah,
Avali Javali Sutragalu. And this
oh,
book,
super.
yet to come in the print form, but the e-book form, it is there. And even in Telugu, somebody started, but that
I
person
was
couldn't.
I was about
So
to say, Naveen Garu, if I can interrupt for a moment. So, to all the audience out there, because we're all mostly Telugu people, if anybody is interested in this direction, do not hesitate to reach out to Naveen Garu. And while we speak in today's episode, if you all like to stay in touch with Naveen ji, right, you could connect with him on his LinkedIn ID. His handle is Naveen Lakkur. So, linkedin.com/in/Naveen Lakkur. You could just find him by searching on his name, and you can just request to connect with a note. And if you're connecting to him through BBB, after seeing BBB, leave a note, sir, I saw you during Business Bites, and I really want to stay in touch with you, so that it'll be more easy and helpful for him to say yes and then connect further, right? Yes. So really nice, Navinji, talking to you and hearing from you your inspirational journey as a innovation coach, as an author, as various experiences that you have in life, whatnot. I mean, when you're an innovation coach, I'm pretty sure that you have a lot of you have definitely explored a lot in all the best possible ways in life, right? So definitely very nice. I think we have lots of comments that has come in, but due to the time and we have been talking, so I was not able to read out lots of comments. But quickly, if I'll have to say a few of them. Wow, what a day today! 200th episode of BBB, and with a great entrepreneur Naveen Lakkur garu antunaru, Suvarna garu. He's the AP president for WeVysya.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
So, good evening. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kalyani Garu. It's a brilliant idea, Antonaru. Congratulations, Vivasha and Bhavana Garu, for 200th episode, waiting for 500th. Yes, definitely. B2B is a good mileage for every Vivasha business person, Antonaru. Yes, thank you so much, sir. Lots of good comments coming in. I'm quickly going to take few of them. Wish the show gives us many more wonderful episodes. I promise you, as I've said, till I finish it with all the members. Ante a Rosu, today, if you're saying today new member has joined, and today should be that member's business bites show. Till then, I'm going to continue doing this business bites show. This is my promise that I've done to Vivasha and our members.
Very nice.
Yes, Naveen Garu. So definitely don't worry, we will continue doing it. I don't know till what episode, but till that day, what I said, we will do it. So it's a great milestone with the right personality, Mr. Vivasha Naveen Lakkur garu, innovative coach. All his inputs are very innovative, very good analyst అని చెప్తున్నారు Ravi garu.
So thank you so much, Ravi garu.
Suvarna garu rightly said, Naveen garu, failure are the stepping stones for success. Your inputs are awesome అంటున్నారు.
Thank you. And how do you deal
Okay.
with failures?
How do you deal with failures? I think one-on-one తీసుకోవాలి ఇప్పుడు I2D చేయాలి. You're already like, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that all our audience are still live and lots of comments that has come in today. Bless we have Naveen garu and Vivasha. Need to learn a lot from Naveen garu. Looks like we should have regular sessions with Naveen garu to excel ourselves అంటున్నారు హర్ష గారు. నవీన్ గారు అపాయింట్మెంట్ ఇస్తారా రోజు ఒక్కొక్క సెషన్ కి?
I was about to say, happy that we found you, right? This is my other book, Found.
Oh wow.
So, Bhavana, we Vaishya has found you, right? So this book is the Golden Rose, and this is a 4 international award-winning book. This book has
Wow.
been ranked as the best book in entrepreneurship category in USA. And
Ah,
I heard
nice.
when one interesting experience I had that once I was doing a session on ideation boot camp was organized in London, and and that time there were close to around 300 entrepreneurs who were pitching their ideas, and they were and for the best pitch, some of them who were pitching for the best pitch, one copy of the book Found was supposed to be given away.
Okay.
Then when that was given away, one African origin guy, beautiful the way he expressed the idea and presented, it was so nice, so he won this, and the panel chose to give it to him. Okay, and that was done. And after that, one girl, I mean, after the event was over, there were several people who wanting to meet me and discuss with me, but one girl was not living only, and she
Mhm.
wanted selfies, and she was interacting and so excited. So I asked, others are also waiting, why are you so excited? And she said, no, I'm meeting you for the first time, but I know you from a long time. I said, oh, how did you know me from a long time? She said, your book Found was a reference material when I was a student in my college. I said, oh, is
Wow.
that so? I didn't know this. And I said, where did you study? And she said, she studied in University of Chicago psychology. And
Mhm.
oh, I said, oh, interesting. And then the professor one day called her and said, you're brimming with a lot of ideas, and you need to sort it, right? This book is for on ideation, and smart people don't have the problem of not having ideas,
True.
but they have a bigger problem of too many ideas. So not all ideas have business in it. At the same
Yes.
time, no idea is a bad idea. So how do you pick a idea which has higher winning potential? That is what this book is all about. And you and and then his professor said that, you need to read this book so that it will help you to pick a winning idea, right? So, and that's how she had known me, I believe, but we met in London. and
Mm,
um, and it was such a wonderful thing. And based on this book, one other moment which was very special to me was when I was invited to do conduct a training program at Southampton University for the PhD students, where the WWW, just like
mm.
BBB and RRR, we all are connected now with WWW, which is
Yes.
the World Wide Web, right? And
Yeah.
that happened in the lab where the WWW was invented. I was able to conduct a session on book found,
Mm-hmm.
on ideas and so on, at the lab where the WWW was invented.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
another
really a amazing, thing that I should say. So Harsha Garu is asking, when can I get that book found? I need one.
okay, see, he said, "Where can I get it?" But Bhavana saying, "When can I get it?" So cool. So both are valid. So
Yes.
so both are valid. Of course, it's there on our store also. Triple I. Here is another, like the BBB, the WWW, the RRR. It's III, the triple I, right? Institute of Inspiring Innovation. On our store, also it is available. So this is
Yes.
the triple I, right? So, um, and yeah, so I think just before, probably, I don't know if you have any questions or anything like that. This is the other book, a little extra.
Mm,
So where again, um, these are all life lessons, and
mm,
now making it available for more people to use it, empower themselves, deal with ideas, build the right attitude, and help in a strategic approach, right? So in
mm.
India, we are very, very good at the frugal innovation, that is the jugaad, and thinking on our feet. How do you think systems? And how do you organize in a way that this is probably one of the things that, as Arya Vaishyas, business is in our blood. But how do you bring the structure, the systemic thinking in such a way that the process driven large organization scale? How do we do all of this? How do you bring in technology? It's not that, I mean, many of them are doing it, right? So once I was in Hyderabad, when Raj Pani, our own member, so he got to know, and he said, I have to meet and I have to come to their office. So I did a session for his wonderful, bright members, and that was on Inseparable Twins. And here they even earned this chocolatious, right? This is another
Oh,
product
yeah.
where property and so on, right? And they also gave me this. Yeah. So this is our member company. I got
Yeah,
this.
but everybody knows Zaggle sir. People have
Yeah.
seen
So,
Funny.
so this is Bumrah signed ball,
Yeah,
right?
wonderful. Yes.
So that's one of the companies which care for innovation, which care for the growth, and I had an opportunity to conduct a training program, right? So I think that's a need again, like, how do you develop, how do you get your employees to, they are the best asset an organization can have, business can have, and their growth and their participation in innovation is as important as your business growth, right? Only then the business will grow. So that's a secret. And with that note, I think we should probably sign off to say that importance of innovation for your business growth, right? So
Yeah.
that's it from my side. So thank you
Thank you.
so
Thank
much
you
for
so much.
inviting. Yeah, so
Yeah,
because I
it's our
saw that,
pleasure.
I saw that it's because you said, I thought we should do a 40-minute, but you said minimum 90-minute, and we hit the clock of 90 now. So here we
Yes,
go.
last 30
Yes,
seconds to go.
yes.
Thank you so much, Naveenji. I'm like surprised that even audience are still live now. There is still questions coming in. Maybe, yeah, last one question I will take. Naveen sir, for the question, how do we deal failure? My way is to practice self-compassion. That is what Suvarna Garu is sharing.
వావ్! సువర్ణ గారు, మీ పేరులోనే ఉంది అండి. మీ సువర్ణ, యూ ఆర్ ద గోల్డ్,
Suvarna,
రైట్? సో,
gold.
and the beauty of gold is that, the purity comes only when it goes through the fire, right? And that is when the purity goes up. So fire here is the challenges and the failures. If we learn how to deal with it, and then we raise up. And I didn't know this. In fact, my own story, I met with a freak accident and lost both my eyes. I was blind for a period. Medically written off case, in terms of number of surgeries, and nobody knew whether I would come back into action or not,
My
what would
God.
happen. And this is all a bonus life that I'm living. And when I could, and the challenges that I had to go through, life challenges. So, and dealt with failures. So somebody, when I was doing a session at All India Institute of Medical Science in AIMS Hospital in Delhi, it was for the TCS was organizing for the doctors and for the implementation team, the technologists, and all of that. I was conducting a training program on based on Little Extra. And that time they introduced me as Dr. Naveen Lakkur. And when I got onto the stage, and when I was talking, I said, actually, I'm not a medical doctor, but the number of surgeries that I had to go through on my eyes today. Today, I'm like, people. I'm a half ophthalmologist, and if people they call me if they have an eye problem to ask which doctor that they should go to. So,
Mhm.
and so you're welcome to call me Dr. Naveen Lakkur. The other I said is, I'm not a PhD, but
Mm,
I've somebody who successfully graduated from a university called Adversity. And
mm,
if we can, it's equivalent to many PhDs. And life has been a big teacher. And when life becomes a teacher, it's very different. It gives you test and exam first, and then the lessons. Unlike our regular ones, which is the ordinary life, right? Which is, first you study and then take the exam. So
true.
life as a teacher is not an easy teacher. So the
Yes.
self compassion that you're referring to is very essential, and that belief, and also that attitude on how, when life becomes that teacher to help you deal with failures, magic happens. And it's not about how many times we fail or how many times we fall. It's all about how many times we raise, is a beautiful old saying. I want to extend that, and I've created something a little extra to it, right? It's not about how
Mhm.
many times you fail or how many times you fall. It's about all about how many times you raise. It's also about how quickly you raise. A lot of
Yes,
people,
correct.
when they fail, they take whole life to raise. And if that is gone, the life is gone. And
Mhm.
it's also about failure is a part and parcel. Self compassion is very essential, but at the same time, the courage, at the same time, the grace, God's grace, is also very, very essential. And I think, just like your name, that is what I understood. I had to go through all of that, challenges, pain, and problems, and so on, in such a way that my life had to purify. So I feel this is a golden life now, because I've gone through all that fire. So
Mhm.
and I think we should be open for it. At the same time, having that belief in God and goodness in people and the society and everybody, right? So that's how we get compensated in different ways, right? So
Mhm.
this is an again example of an attitude that we can develop to deal with failures and still move ahead, right? Way ahead. You have to move ahead. Yes.
Yes, thank you so much, Naveen Garu. All the wonderful words, and even now I'm getting a lot of comments. If you permit me, last 2 minutes we will take up comments. But before that, I would like to acknowledge all the efforts from our relationship manager Shweta. When I started about thinking about this BBB, it's like daily we have to communicate with the member, tell them join the show, come like this will be the platform, and collect data, whatnot. So for me, it was really, it was a dream. It was unimaginable for me alone to handle all of this and do the show also, which is like almost 60 to 90 minutes, right? So she in the right direction took up day-to-day activities, like sometimes we tell it but they will not be able to do it, but she's done it in a very great way. So Shweta, thank you so much for all your efforts in the back end to make this show very successful on a daily day-to-day note. Thank you so much,
Hi,
Shweta.
Shweta.
Hello, Naveen Garu.
Namaste. So
Hello.
wonderful.
Thank you
So
very much.
acknowledge you for all that little extra effort that you're putting.
Yes, in fact, it was
Shweta,
my
you want to
dream
say any?
to work with our community people, which it came to after 18 years of my experience.
Okay.
So I think this would be end of my professional life. I mean, my retirement would be with WeVysya, as Anil sir used to tell me.
And I wanted to retire early. Okay, I did. Only then I realized retirement would not mean stop doing anything. It means doing what we want. That is all, and it increased. The activities just increased and blew up. Right? So that is
Bang
what
on, bang
retirement
on.
is.
I love that. I love that.
So welcome to that retirement world, which means do it with will and
Do what
freedom.
you like to do now because you're settled in life.
Yes.
Yes, Shweta, quickly, any couple of words that you want to share with our audience of your experience with BBB and more. Shweta, are you there? Shweta, are you there? I think
So
she's not there.
she's
By the
she's
time she comes,
in a
Navinji,
where she's frozen, right?
yeah, frozen. Yes, true. Navinji, quickly, last 2 minutes, we'll take quick messages because if some questions for you, I don't want to miss that, and people feel that okay, you didn't ask my
I
question
think
later.
you will be called in for the Maggie 2 minutes noodles ad. Okay, so this is the fourth time of your 2 minute is coming in. So
No, no,
go ahead.
no. We
Go
will
ahead.
make it last 2 minutes now. Um, yes, Shweta ma'am is wonderful. Yes, every failure should become a maturity to be taken to the head and not to the heart. Very true. Patience, practice with passion to deal with failure. True. You made the rest of my life priceless words from Naveen Garu. Thank you, Antunaru. Harsha Garu.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you for the nice words. So, thank you so much, Naveen Garu. Goosebumps while listening about the challenges that you have faced. Even I didn't know. I mean, like really, the even I felt like, oh my god, types. So, hats off to you, Naveen Garu, for all the determination and that you have within you. So, we are very fortunate to have you. You have your interaction today. Thank you, Bhavna ma'am, for this wonderful show. Thank you so much, Suvarna Garu. It's our pleasure. If it's benefiting our community, our members, then it's all the worth time and effort that we spend, right? So, any online to link to buy books, sir, you could share with me. I will share it with all those who have asked for the link.
Sure.
So, all of you has asked for the link. I will definitely reach out to me. I will be sharing the link that Naveen Garu will share with me. Thank you so much for bringing such a dynamic personality, BBB and Tunaru. Thank you, sir. It's our pleasure. Naveen Garu, I want found now, suggest me. Okay, so we already addressed that. Bhavna ji, Naveen Garu bringing new avenues of himself, found Golden Rose and Tonaru. Yes, true. Hope Vivashya found you as inseparable
Twins. Okay.
twin, no? For Vivashya. Okay.
So
When can
what is
I get that book?
that word was
తెలుగులో
in?
అర్థం కాలేదు నాకు కూడా.
Okay.
అంత బాగా చదవడం వీఆర్ ఆల్ ఫ్రమ్ బెంగళూరు రైట్ కన్నడ చదువుదాము కొద్దిగా ఐ మేనేజ్ తెలుగు ఆల్సో బట్ సమ్ టైమ్స్ can't help. Fortunate enough to have you, sir, today on yet another great day. Thank you very much for your presence, sir. Congratulations, Bhavna Garu, for 200th episode. Thank you so much, Srinivas Garu. So, Srinivas Garu is our next, current global president elect. He's going to be the next global president for WeVysya.
Congratulations, Srinivas Garu,
Yes.
and best
Wow, found
wishes.
with a yes, definitely. Wow, found with a golden rose, Antonaro. Congratulations. Failures are the stepping stones of success. That's a very nice sentence to mark. Congratulations, Bhavna ma'am, for the 200th episode. A great day with a great coach. Thank you, Srinivas Garu. Congratulations. Thank you. Fortunate to have on board today, Naveen. Now I'm reading Ulta messages actually. Thank you, sir. We look forward to have you in a bigger session, Antonaro. Definitely. He has never said no to Vivasha as far as I know. Kada Naveen Garu? It's your generosity and nice that being such a great personality, you are always humble and agreeing to be part of our initiatives.
So very nice.
Okay. Congratulations. All the best for your ended episode. It was nice to have you here with us today in Press Talk Show. Thank you for joining with us today, and Tanaro Naveen Garu. Thank you. On behalf of all our members also. Network may works, but net worth may work, but network definitely works nice. BBB అంటే ఫ్లవర్ కాదు తిరువన్నామలై ఫైర్ అంటున్నారు గుప్తా గారు. My God, thank you. Naveen Garu, in 500th episode, your interview Bhavna ma'am. You interview Bhavna ma'am anta. ఏం సార్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేస్తారా నన్ను?
So you didn't see, he realized, but you didn't realize that I was actually asking questions, and we were having a wonderful conversation, right? And people didn't even realize that there was so much of insights as our interaction was happening. Knowingly, unknowingly, there was so much of innovation related subject that we were covering. So I don't
Yes.
know. I'm sure these are very smart audience. Like the way they are even creative, they were so creative. Uh, Bhavana ante flower kadu, and the fire in
తిరువన్నామలై ఫైర్ అంట.
Tiruvannamalai. So they've caught on all the small points that we were talking about in the fire, the divine power to everything, right? So this is the power of, again, storytelling, and in fact, how it registers in people's mind, and so how we use these techniques for business growth. This is innovation, right? And the importance of innovation. This is also an example.
Yeah, right. Rightly said, Naveen ji. Nothing is permanent. Change itself is permanent. Change before it happened, Antunaru Gupta Garu.
Yes. So nice. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. And can we lead change? That's where, so many sessions and so much of experiences there. So I'm sure we will get chances, more opportunities. And I conduct training programs on these, actually. Yes.
Yes,
Leading change.
definitely. I think we will have you as part of our training programs. Also, maybe going further wherever possible. Definitely, ante we, as I said, we are fortunate to have a very knowledgeable, nice, humble personality with us today, Naveen Garu. Really, our pleasure.
Thank you.
Uh, Hats off to your dedication, Bhavna Rajesh, for completing the 200th episode being at Tiruvannamalai and Tunaru. Sudanva, thank you so much. Wow, BBB on Wheels from Tiruvannamalai. Lord Shiva bless you and our entire Vivasya. Absolutely. All prayers for all the members of Vivasya. Congratulations, congratulations, Vivasya and Bhavna Garu for completing 200th episode. It's wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much, Santosh Garu, for all the comments. As we are running late, I think I am not reading the full comments, but yeah, thanks to everyone for all the wonderful comments. From entire Vivasya Telangana team, congratulations, Antunaru. He is the state president for Telangana, Venkatesh Garu.
Hi,
Thank
Venkatesh
you so
Garu.
much, indeed. Thank you
Namaste.
for joining him. Hearty congratulations. Well done. Keep it up. Antunaru ma Nana Garu, Navaneet Kumar, and he's my father. Thank you. Thanks, Daddy, and all my husband and all my family who's always supported. And tonight, in Chip Kuchoni, when we're doing the show, it's like it's not easy for everyone to say that. Go ahead and do it. They will say like, "Oni can do right." You understand? So, thanks to my
Really,
entire family who's been very supportive to
absolutely.
me.
Acknowledge them and for giving you that support and clearance, right? So really hats off to them, and thanks Andy, Bhavana gar family members Kandarikino for being that little extra support, right? Means a lot and can get people to take to new levels, right? And she's also influencing, creating impact in so many businesses and lives and in our community and beyond. So best wishes, and congratulations to your family members actually.
Yes, yes, definitely. I will dedicate it to them. Okay, congratulations. Take home message failing smartly. So,
Good,
one of the persons is saying,
good,
I'm taking the home to son tomorrow.
amazing, amazing, good takeaway.
Yeah. Rightly said,
Smart.
Naveen. RRR is nominated for Oscar. BBB is in the hearts of many members, Antunaru. Thank you, Suvarnagaru. Thank you so much. Contact details, LinkedIn details, Petanu. So you can connect with Naveen Garu on LinkedIn, and he will be more than happy to connect with everybody. Shivakumar, Vysya, Vasudeva, Vijayanagaram Minchi. 200 episode is so nice, informative, inspiring, and gives motivation for many people. Antunaru. Thank you, Andy. Thanks for joining in. It's all because of the acceptance of our Naveenji that we could make it more inspiring, long, and inspirational with innovation, maybe. Blessed we have Naveen Garu in Vivasya. Need to learn a lot from Naveen Garu. Looks like we should have regular session with Naveen. Yes, let's try to do it. And you asked a question, Kada, which was what is the name of the company in Yapade? National Phonograph Co. General Electric Co. These are all the answers that has come in.
Yes, General Electric as a GE is
Hmm.
where the bulbs. So, as innovation, and as he invented the bulb, the innovation and the business model, and as an entrepreneur, it's a classic example of scale and creating a global impact, right? So, so he is one of the inspiration that way to the whole world.
Yes.
So can we draw
Thanks
some
for
insight?
answering those actually. And yes, thanks to everybody who's sent your wishes. I think I missed a lot of comments, but we are really running late. But a wholehearted thank you for being a wonderful audience today and, supporting this 200th episode and kind of your best wishes. Continue this. Let us mutually support our members, get exposure, visibility, and help them grow their businesses in their streams as we continue the season of Business Bites with Bhavana. Yes, Naveen Garu. I think we should conclude today's episode with the highlights. I will leave it to you definitely.
Oh, highlights. I thought I
Yes.
played the full match, right? With
No,
200
no.
not out.
It has been so impactful. If we hear from Naveen Garu, then it will stay here. Like it will not go fly away. Last pointers, maybe few points from you, it will stay here forever.
Actually, I'm very inspired with the way the participation has been there and the way they have been able to articulate the takeaways. And that's the true Vaishya, right? So I know how to take away from, so from the available knowledge which is there. And I'll be actually looking forward, just the way it happened with the innovation, with the MSMEs, and how they the trigger you know which they had in their mind got them to open their companies or grow their business and so on. So with today's conversation, it's more than highlights. I would like to have an appeal for them, for all the listeners. And the appeal is, you know, any insights that you got and which you all wrote also, the takeaways that you have had and the inspiration that you have drawn. So, what is that? That is one side of the coin, right? The other side of the coin is what you do with it, and how would you implement. And I would love to hear your stories of what you've done with this and what impact is it creating out there in the market, and how are you growing your business. Can that be a story, and can that be a conversation, and can that be an inspiration to many? So I would love to hear that, and this is my appeal to all of you. So best wishes in that journey of innovation, that where you are coming with ideas, implementing it, making a difference. And take care. Love you all.
Thank you so much. So last comment for the day, a memorable benchmark episode Antunaru, Gupta Garu. Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you for that. So Naveen ji, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for accepting to be part of this show. And we learned a lot about you, your journey, and how one can move on with whatever challenges that they get. It's not like it's never an end. There's always an opportunity to stand up and move on. It's all about in the mindset, where there is will, there is a way, is what I believe in. So definitely learned a lot, understood a lot, and it has definitely inspired us a lot to be more innovative in our lives in wherever possible. Thank you so much, and it's definitely our pleasure having you on the show today.
My pleasure too. Thank
I
you
wish you
so
all the best for more and more achievements and rewards and awards, and inspiring more people and guiding more people in the terms of innovation.
Yes, thank you so much. And the best
Thank
reward for me is, what I enable. So now I'm on a mission to nurture new age leadership. And I believe new age leadership is going to be driven by those who are innovative and those who are
you.
intrapreneurs and those who are entrepreneurs. And my vision is to enable 1 million people around the world in next 5 years. And
Wonderful.
I'm on that journey. And I'm happy that, you're all a part of this journey, and we will make it happen in style and create a big impact in the world, right? So I'm on that. And so your success is our success, right? So at and thank you so much for inviting me, and for this milestone episode, right?
Yes.
So and also for the reservation for the 500.
500th episode for you to interview me, huh?
Cool, yeah. Why not? So, so that you are going to be, we'll reverse the role, right? Where I will ask you questions, and I will bring out the best of. So it'll be not three BBB then. 500th episode, it'll be four BBB, the best of the
Business
best
bites with
also,
Bhavana.
as one of the predecessors. One more B in the waiting, okay, for the fifth 500th one.
500th episode. All the best to me. All the best to all of us to make it to 500th. God bless us. All right. Thank you so much, Naveenji. Good night. And we took a little long time, but I'm pretty sure this will be memorable to a lot of our members. And we have left an impact as part of 200th episode today. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so to all the audience out there, 200th episode today, right? After a long journey of almost 1 year, 5 months approximately, we have reached the end of season two, that is Business Bites with Bhavna season two. Today is the 200th episode. As soon we will be back with the third season, right, with 201st episode. Thank you from bottom of my heart for all your love and support that you have extended for this show, and our members, right? When members come onto the screen and they're talking about their business, if we don't have viewers, audience, what is the point? But then you all have been great audience. And I would like to acknowledge and thank our founder, Anil Gupta Garu, for accepting this initiative when I was doing as a global president, which has been continuing right now. And he's helped in terms of the name of the show. Thanks to him for giving such a catchy name, and also helping in terms of marketing and platform and more. Shweta already, as I said, has been helping me in the back end. So though you see me daily for 60 to 90 minutes, I don't know if you like it or not, but you're seeing it regularly. So these are all the hands which is putting efforts in the back end. Thanks to everyone. And sincere request, please continue your support, and let's do it together for supporting more of our own members of WeVysya. So it was a wonderful episode. Your support for BBB today, having a guest today, and so many good questions and interactions really made this lively. Thank you. And yeah, as usual, um, if you're an Arya still owning a business, still not part of our Vivashya family, I think now is the time. Visit www.vivashya.org or reach out to us on 9886 and we'll be more than happy to welcome you with our open arms and open hearts. And as usual, before we end the show, one good thought for the day, right? We were talking a lot of things about innovation today. So innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity. Innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity. Think about innovation, think about how you're going to implement in your life, in your businesses, and go to sleep today. And when you wake up, you will have a lot of innovative ideas. With this, I'm concluding this longest episode of Business Bites with Bhavna. It's almost like 2 hours, but thank you again for making it happen. I will see you all again in season 3 in the 201st episode, which will communicate shortly when we will be starting. Till then, take care, enjoy life to the best possible, learn, grow, evolve. Take care. Thank you and good night. Signing off, yours, Bhavna.